We're working right now to find out whether 3 teenagers will face upgraded charges after an elderly man they're accused of beating died from those injuries. 71-year-old Ted Cook died Saturday night. Clarksville police say he'd been in the hospital since 3 teens kicked him and hit him repeatedly with the butt of a rifle during a robbery at a car wash in late May. The teens were arrested right after the assault. 2 are 14 years old, 1 is 13 years old. A husband and wife died while leaving a family member's funeral over the weekend. Cameo and Troy Jenkins were on Cato Road near Ashland City Highway when they crashed into a rock wall. Police say speed was a factor in this crash. Both had on their seatbelts, but police say it was because the 1968 Camaro they were in only had those lap belts and no airbags.
Some new developments this morning regarding a Cookeville facility that was once at the center of a News Channel 5 investigation back when it was called Living the Dream. It's now known as Senior Lifestyles. The DA tells us investigators have now searched the home for the elderly as well as an office and a car, and they've now made an arrest. Stephanie Butler was arrested on Friday. She bonded out of the Putnam County Jail after she was charged with 2 counts of theft of property and 1 count of adult abuse, neglect, exploitation. Senior Lifestyles is owned by Republican legislative candidate Ed Butler and his wife, Stephanie.
Take a look at this. Lightning may be to blame for starting a massive fire at a Nashville home. Take a look at this house on Vine Ridge Drive in West Nashville. This happened during those bad storms we saw yesterday morning. You can see several rooms and part of the attic there damaged. Thankfully, though, no one was hurt.
And some people have a new ride that doesn't belong to them. 3 vehicles were stolen from the area of West Main Street and Jamestown Plaza in Hendersonville. Police say the 2 trucks and the SUV are similar to the ones in these photos. A silver Chevy Trax, a white Ford F-150, and a gray Nissan Titan. If you have any information, give police a call.
The 2018 CMA Music Festival is officially in the books. Music continued late into the night at Nissan Stadium. A few stages had to close early last night because of all the rain they saw. Most people had to go to some bars and restaurants to take cover. But given the high temperatures, some people didn't mind that rain.
I haven't heard anybody talk about being upset about the weather or anything, so I don't think really anyone cares, honestly.
The weather doesn't matter. If you're having a good time and if there's good live music, nothing matters.
Now, because of CMA Fest in Bonnaroo, today's expected to be a record travel day at Nashville International Airport.
And that's where we find Dan Kennedy this morning. And Dan, how many travelers are we talking? Because you said earlier we could break a record.
Yeah, Amy, it's looking like we will. 26,500 people going to be leaving Nashville Airport today. We're not just talking about people coming in and flying into the city. We're talking about more than 26,000 people trying to get out of Nashville, and that's because of just what a big weekend it is. And just looking down here towards the security line, it's moving right along. Security lines are short. Everyone we've seen appear in good spirits, maybe a little tired, staying up till 1 o'clock or maybe even later than that, but certainly no one becoming unhinged or anything at the side of a long line. That is not an issue at this time. Just to put this all in perspective, 26,500 is the number this morning. That's about an extra 7,000 people than usual, and it's up 6% from this time last year. Of course, the reason why being CMA Fest in Bonnaroo. We've seen everything from cowboy boots to camping gear with people packing up and trying to leave Music City. We've also seen some people on a mission trip and business travelers. So you factor in everybody who would already normally be leaving on a Monday, and that's why this is going to be a record travel day for Nashville International Airport. It's even more crowded than the usual Thanksgiving travel as we usually see come November. And as we send it back to you, if they break that record as predicted today, it'll be about an extra 1,000 people today than the previous record. Reporting live from Nashville International Airport, Dan Kennedy, News Channel 5.
All right, thanks, Dan. Almost 2 months after vandals spray painted graffiti on President Andrew Jackson's tomb, it's been restored. President Jackson and his wife Rachel's graves were unveiled during this special ceremony at the Hermitage over the weekend. In April, vandals covered the tomb with graffiti writing the word killer and other obscenities. Since then, a special laser machine has been used to remove those marks. Attendees say Jackson was not liked by everyone, but he still embodied the American democracy.
Even if you're trying to make a point like that, when you do an act like that where you vandalize something, no one cares about your message because the means you delivered it by is just so offensive. You know, that no one's listening to what you may be trying to say.
The president of the Hermitage says they will place a surveillance camera, several of them around the tomb there, in the future to keep this from happening again.
It's a crisis across the nation that affects hundreds in our state every day. We're talking about opioid addiction. And later today, a newly developed anti-drug coalition in Maury County will host the first of several town hall meetings to address the epidemic and how it's affecting people in our area. It's going to run from 6 to 8 p.m. at the National Guard Armory in Columbia. And remember, it was just back in March that 3 young men died within 24 hours in Maury County. Investigators are still awaiting reports to find out whether drugs the men overdosed on were mixed with the lethal opioid fentanyl.
All right, imagine buying a lottery ticket and then finding out you're the lucky winner. It's something we all daydream about when we buy a lottery ticket, but for one lucky person in Clinton, Tennessee, it's actually true. They have the money to spend. The Lotto says a person is holding a Powerball ticket right now worth $150,000. The person hit 4 of the winning numbers plus the Powerball on Saturday. That winner still hasn't come forward, but if you bought a ticket in Clinton, you better check it right away. Let us know if you're the winner. We'd love to talk to you about it. Maybe borrow some money too.